Welcome back, everybody. Today we got another Kevin Samuels classic. And trust me, this one goes left fast.
Go ahead. You're in the Bahamas. Is this your picture?
Yes, it is.
And what did I get wrong about the subject?
I think you got everything right. I just wanted to add to what you said, basically from my standpoint and what I have to offer. Because your question is, what are women willing to do? So the first thing I feel like a lot of women need to do is to be able to pray for a high value man.
You say pray?
Yeah, pray.
Pray?
Because,
like pray or praise?
No, Pray.
Okay.
Because a lot of times we try to go for things or strive for things that, may not be in God's plan for us.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
Am I on speakerphone?
Yeah, because I am using my cell phone to Zoom.
Okay, but you can take me off speakerphone because there's a delay.
Oh, okay. How do I do this?
Just set it off of, just put it on iPhone instead of speaker. You're 37? She muted herself accidentally. You need to unmute yourself. Hello?
I am so sorry.
That's okay.
Kevin, I don't know how to do this.
All right. Well, here's the
phone,
okay. What kind of phone do you have? What kind of phone? You can't hear me. What kind of phone do you have?
Now I can hear you.
What kind of phone do you have?
Okay, can you hear me now?
What kind of phone do you have?
I am using a Samsung.
All right. There should be a speaker in the left corner that says, you tap it once and it should allow you to go to speaker or just whatever the phone you have. Because the problem we have is when I start talking, you can't hear me when you start talking.
Okay, so I just tapped the speaker and it doesn't have you on speaker anymore.
It still does, but we'll keep moving. You're 37?
36.
Any children?
Yeah, so.
Any children?
Yes, I do. Actually, I do.
Stop. Have you been married?
Yes, widowed.
Was your husband a high value man?
Not financially.
Then he was not a high value man. It's not a state. Okay, ma'am. So and the reason I'm asking because what ages are your children?
20 and 15.
20 and 15. When I hear black women calling in talking about you need to pray for a man, no. And I'm a Christian. Been one since 5 years old. Marriage is a natural choice. God has nothing to do with who you select or who selects you. That is one of the worst things. We keep telling black women to pray for a man. If you watch my channel on I have a video on Christian feminism. It's one of my most watched videos. We have too many black women sitting in a passive position, waiting on the Lord to deliver them Boaz. No, ma'am.
Okay, got you. So that was one. And the reason why I said that is not from staying in a passive point. It's basically praying for the right type of individual to come into your life.
Why don't you, let me just stop you right there. Why don't you, instead of saying that, why don't you, is it your position to lead or is it a man's position to lead?
It's his position to
So
lead.
if you're having a Christian man telling you who actually, ma'am, you're wrong. And you're still trying to say it like it's right. Like, well, that's your opinion, Kevin. It's not my opinion. There's nothing in the Bible that said God is going to direct you to a spouse.
Can I say something, please? I know that it's not.
Then you cannot. No, I will not allow you on my platform to say something that I know is scripturally, theologically incorrect. I will not allow it.
No, it's not regarding that, Kevin.
Then what is it regarding, ma'am? Because we're only talking. Is it something in the chat room?
I'm just looking. Yeah.
I don't want to hear the chat room, ma'am. I want to talk to you. Okay, ma'am. I don't. Okay, this is bullshit. Look, lady. I am trying to be nice. I'm trying to be. Oh, she's out of it. Look, I'm trying to be nice to you. But I've already told her what the problem is going to be. Ladies, when you call into my show, I don't care about the chat room. I'm running this show, and there are 4,400 people watching, and I'm not looking in the chat room. Stop worrying about what people in the chat room are saying and have a conversation with me. But again, you get women who are in no man's land. That's the other side of danger zone. You get women on the other side of danger zone. That's no man's land. And I cannot allow you to talk about this. God's going to send you and pray for him to send you the right person. That's not what God is not Santa Claus. Now, I'll ask you to unmute yourself if you're willing to have the conversation with me and not worry about what's going on in the chat room. Can you do that?
Okay. Yes.
That's what I tried to avoid this. That's why I told you to get off speaker. Because when I started talking, you could not hear me. Then you're in the chat room. Talk to me about what you have to. And as a woman who does, the reason I'm also pushing back is you say your husband was not high value financially. Yeah. Then what do you have to give on the subject?
Well, I'm basically, when it comes to what I'm capable of giving, that's one, you already disqualified that. Another aspect is being supportive of him, his dreams, his goals, his needs.
Okay.
Another one.
But you have to. But here's him. You have to. But before you can do all that, ma'am, is you have to be found. How tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
And what dress size do you wear?
Between 2 and 4, depending on the brand.
Okay. And how much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself?
120.
Okay. But you have a 20-year-old and a 15-year-old and you're in the Bahamas. Yes. At 36 years old, you're closer to 40 than you are closer to 30.
Yes.
I have to ask you a practical question.
Yes, that's fine.
Why do you need a high value man?
I need a high value man because in the past, me considering my contributions in relationships, I gave a lot and I am deserving.
Let me stop. No. In your past relationship has nothing to do with the next man. That's like asking another man to pay for another man's bill. And you say you're deserving because of what?
Because, okay, I made choices in the past. I don't want to bring up my past, but I made choices in the past to date people that were not high value. And in doing so, sometimes you understand your worth more when you deal with somebody who is not of your value. So you know what you're not going to tolerate anymore in life or relationships. And it gives you an understanding of what you are most compatible with.
All right, ma'am. Again, basically, another woman who thinks she's entitled deserves a high value man because of mistakes you made with other men. But what you have not said is listen, I let you speak.
Okay.
Do you personally know any high value men that are interested in you romantically?
Yes, I do.
That are interested in you for a wife?
Yes, I do.
Are you actively engaged with these men?
I am talking to them, yes.
How long is this more than one man?
Yes, 2.
2 men. How long have you known each man?
One, I've known him for about a year. And the other 6 months.
And you've known them for a year and 6 months. Have you guys dated?
Well, I was grieving after I met them. The guy who I was last dating, he passed away last year.
So your husband passed away and the guy you dated passed away?
Yes.
And you have 2 men, one a year and one 6 months, and you say they're both interested in you in marriage, but you're not dating?
No.
Then ma'am, how can you say they're interested in you in marriage?
Because
no, not because, ma'am. So what did they? No, ma'am. Not because. If you're not dating, listen, ma'am. If you're not dating someone, has a man said, "Hey, Crystal, I would like to marry you.
No, none of them have said that.
Then they can't say then, ma'am, at 36, you cannot say they're interested in you in marriage. They might be marriage minded, but not specifically for you. Again, Black women, you often do this. You often lie to yourself or make up stories about something that's not there. You cannot that would be like saying, Crystal's interested in marrying me and we ain't even get on a date yet. If a man said that, he'd be what?
Lying.
He'd be delusional.
Mm-hmm.
And see, at 36 at 36 years old, man, at 36 years old, what you're basically trying to say to me is, I'm a nice woman. I'm a Christian woman. I've been married. My husband's gone on to glory. Unfortunately, another guy I dated transitioned, but I made choices in my past and dealt with guys that I don't feel like were on my level. And now I'm not willing to settle for anything less than what I believe I deserve. Fine. But here's the problem. You're 36 and in no man's land with 2 children, and you got a 21-year-old's mindset and a nearly 40-year-old's body. You cannot demand the same thing you did when you were 20 with no children. You don't need listen.
How do I
listen?
40-year-old body?
Well, you cannot have a 20-year-old's body because you're a 36-year-old. It's mathematically impossible.
Do I look my age?
Again, Black women do this. Black don't crack, whatever. You are almost 40. It doesn't matter. You have old eggs. If you got pregnant right now, would it be high risk?
I don't know.
What age is high risk pregnant? Guys, remember, the laughter is always a tell. See, when you start getting close to the truth, even an uncomfortable truth, instead of women just saying, you know what, that's right, they get defensive. Here's the defensiveness. Ma'am, you're 36 and I say you don't have a 20-year-old's body. You know that's true. It's not an insult. It's just a statement of fact. When I ask you if you got pregnant today, would it be high risk? High risk pregnancy starts at 35. You know that's true. And you say, I don't know. This is why men get tired of listening to ladies like yourself, because even the ones that seem to be so soft and so well-meaning are still on some of that BS. Ma'am, I asked you, why do you need a high-value man? And the reason, and you haven't answered the question, you want it because of the lifestyle. And that's fine. Just say, I want a high-value lifestyle. I don't want to live like this. I'd rather have more money, more things to do, and I don't make the kind of money to do that. I want somebody to pay for it. I could at least respect that.
I can't say that that's why I want it, because I've always
then go get it. Then would you accept a man who's making? Do you work?
Yes, I do.
And are you a middle income person?
Would you consider middle income?
Whatever the United States does, do you make more than $50,000 a year?
Almost that amount.
Okay. Would you be all right with a man making almost that amount?
No, I wouldn't.
Exactly. There you go, gentlemen. Another woman who wants more. I told you, Anthony Perkins, this is why I don't talk about regular guys, because even women in her position want men making more than her. She's closer to 40 than 30. 36, and she still wants a man earning more. Ma'am, I get that you want that, but you're shooting outside of your looks league. And it doesn't matter if you are 36 and you look like you're 20. You're 36. And men who have high value money don't pick 36-year-olds when they can get 25-year-olds. You got to accept this, ma'am, or die alone.
I'm not refuting what you're saying.
You're not what?
I'm not like arguing with what you're saying. Like
what I'm saying is, you got a 20-year-old kid. He doesn't need the resources, and a 15-year-old kid. You don't need a high value man. All you need is a man. But you want a rich man. You don't need one. And you're not. And no offense, ma'am, but what would you say you rank on the look scale from 1 to 10? You can't use 7. The laugh,
maybe
gentlemen?
6.
Maybe 6. Exactly. Why would a high value man who can afford 8s, 9s, and 10s get a 36-year-old 6?
Because not every high value man looks
Why?
as
Yes, they freaking do.
not every high
Exactly.
value man.
Exactly. And spoken by the woman who does not even have one, but you said 2 of them want to marry you and you ain't went on a date with them. Line them up, knock them down. Are you kidding me? Came in there with that Christian feminist. God gonna sin. God ain't got nothing to do with this. God told you, make a decision. She don't want a man making what she's making. And I'm going to tell you, the woman was average looking at best. And she had really short hair. Cisco short. She be arguing with you for your wave cap. She be asking you to hit her with that do-rag. And then had that purple glitter around here, you know. Ma'am, far out of your league. See, men get to hear rejection all the time. Women, you guys don't deal with rejection very well.
She's 36, Christian, has 2 kids, and is dating 2 men. Kevin Samuels says, "You may die alone." Gentlemen, this conversation features a 36-year-old Christian woman with 2 children who believes women should pray to God to bring them a high-value man. But Kevin immediately challenges that mindset. She says she has 2 children, and the men from her previous relationships are now deceased. Today, she's dating 2 men, but neither one is actively pursuing marriage. And that's where the conversation gets interesting. Her strategy is essentially pray, have faith, and wait for the right man. Kevin's response? Faith doesn't remove the realities of the dating market. If you want a high-value man, you still have to ask yourself what makes you competitive for that man. At 36, with 2 children, she has a different dating profile than a woman in her 20s with no children. Kevin isn't saying she has no value. He's saying that her options and his options have to be considered at the same time. And here's the uncomfortable question. If the 2 men she's currently dating aren't asking for marriage, why does she believe the answer is simply to keep waiting for an even higher value man? That's the part women need to think about. You don't get to decide what kind of man you want without recognizing that he also gets to decide what kind of woman he wants. You can pray for a husband. You can have standards. You can believe that God will bring the right person into your life. But you still have to be realistic about who is actually choosing you. Kevin's warning is blunt. If you refuse to consider men within your realistic dating range because they're not high value enough, you may eventually have to choose between adjusting your expectations and remaining single. And that's really the lesson here. Standards are fine, but standards without self-awareness can become limitations. So the question is simple. Should she continue holding out specifically for a high-value man, or should she broaden her dating pool if marriage is the ultimate goal?